Hi, Jocelyn. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Will. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Congratulations on this latest movie of yours.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was speaking to Jim the other day about it, and yeah, yeah, it's yeah, a lot of twists and turns. Did you have fun shooting it?
It was a blast. Yeah, I mean, one of the best experiences of my career so far. Just so many wonderful people from Francis all the way down. He just put together a really great team.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know I say it's a fun movie, ask if you're having fun, but of course your character is looking very, stressed out and terrified the whole time. So I don't know if that's a fair question to ask, but I mean, you nailed the part, of course. So,
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's not, it's always fun. But yes, for sure, Charlotte is pretty is traumatized the entire movie.
yeah. Traumatized. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, gosh. I mean, yeah, I mean when you first read the script, I mean, I was asking Jim this as well. And Richard, yeah, I spoke to Richard Brake as well. I mean, did you sort of think you had a handle on where the story was going, or maybe not?
No, that's
What's
what's
your
so
read?
great about this script. There's some familiar genre elements, but the script is so smart that it just keeps you guessing the whole time. And there's all these varied different characters who all do things you're not expecting. And that's just shows how much talent that Francis has. It's kind of hard to believe that this is his first feature, but he just executed on so many levels. But it's all starts with the script, and it just really jumped off the page and was really special.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I mean, I know this was years ago, but uh, I know you won a Best Actress award for The House of the Devil, which was such a great movie, back in 2009 or whenever it was. And that was a completely different genre. And doing sort of a crime western kind of thriller like this. I mean, do you find after doing a variety of genres, I mean, is there one that you particularly favor these days or one that you want to do more of in the future?
I mean, it really all just comes down to the story, and I love stories, and genre films usually have very high stakes,
Yeah.
whether it's noir or western or horror. And we've been joking that, with this film, you can tell that Francis loves horror films, and because so many of the actors, if you just looked at the cast, you might think that this is a horror film, but I think what it shares is kind of like this atmosphere with a constant threat of violence, which is always fun to play in as an actor. And what's cool about this film is that it crosses so many genres.
Yeah.
It's scary, but it's also like darkly funny
Yeah.
and gorgeous, and it has, yeah, it hits a lot of levels.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I forgot that I mean, there are plenty of moments where I was sort of laughing out loud, just sort of dry humor in the midst of all this terrifying chaos. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I love movies like that.
Yeah. Is there something else you're working on at the moment that you'd like to share about?
There's a couple things percolating for this summer that haven't been announced yet, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, I mean, at looking back on this project, I mean, what do you think was maybe the most challenging scene for you to shoot? There are some pretty high stakes moments. I mean, the whole movie's kind of high stakes, but I don't know if something sort of stood out at you, kind of in retrospect.
Yeah. I mean, one cool thing about this was how many interesting dynamic shots and set pieces that Francis and Mac Fiskin, our DP, had really coordinated and worked out, planned ahead. And so executing those scenes were fun and challenging, just more complicated because every department had to like work to get these oneers basically. So those days were fun, and were kind of when we had the most takes of something because we weren't getting coverage. It was all just going to be one shot. So for instance, like the scene where Richard Brake sits Charlotte and the knife salesman down and kind of, threatens them and lets them know that they have to keep up appearances. That scene was really fun and fulfilling to get. And then, of course, the shootout scene, which had so many elements and can get very technical. So you like prepare, and then you only have one, maybe two shots to get it. Those are you know, they're fun to do, and but they're more complicated. So you have to like hold on to your performance ideas in the midst of like technical stunt coordination.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's interesting. And you know, this movie, like you said, has scary elements. You know, you've done other scary movies. I know you were in Doctor Sleep as well, you know, working with Mike Flanagan. Interviewed Henry Thomas not too long ago, who's been in, I'm pretty sure, every Mike Flanagan project to date, pretty much. But I mean, I know this was sort of years back at this point, but was curious. I'd love to hear if you have anything you'd like to share about, you know, working with him. I'm such a fan of his and would love to talk to him someday.
Yeah, same. I mean, I'm a huge fan of his work, and he also does something of like combining genres of like, you know, really poignant, moving dramas in the horror world. So like whenever you're kind of storytelling on multiple levels, it just shows like the sophistication of the storyteller. And he's such a lovely, wonderful human being, and his sets are like a very warm environment. And he does, one thing I could tell you about is like he does this cool thing, like you do the blocking rehearsal, you know, the actors and just usually just him and the DP, and then he'll invite the entire crew, and then he kind of just talks through like what's going to happen. So like the crew knows emotionally what's going on, and the actors know technically what's going on. So it's just nice to like all be involved in that process and be on the same page. He's such a great filmmaker.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so nice to hear. It's always cool to hear sort of behind the scenes stuff like that. Is there another you know, filmmaker you've had your eye on who you'd like to work with, or another actor, anyone you sort of been keeping tabs on?
Yeah, I mean, so many. I mean, the first one that popped to mind was Karen Kusama. Like, I love her work, and I love The Invitation and Destroyer and Jennifer's Body, and of course, Yellow Jackets is really cool.
Oh
It's
yeah.
nice. Yeah, it's nice to see like these like darker pieces, you know, in the episodic world too. So yeah, she's someone I'd love to work with.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's great. I'm obsessed with Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I we're thinking it into the world, you know. I
Yes.
there's plenty of time. You have a long career ahead of you, so
I hope so.
yeah.
Thank you.
No, yeah, well, that's great. Well, well, cool. I can't wait. You know, I hope we can do this on your next project. It's like you said, you got a couple other things you're working on, so I can't wait to see those. And in the meantime, congratulations on The Last Stop. I can't wait for everyone else to see it.
Thanks, Will. Thanks. Enjoy
Yeah.
talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.